Once again, you're going to start off with your original color, which we would say is 100% saturated. It's pure, straight out of the tube, what the color is meant to be. And then we're going to be desaturating it, and in this case, we're going to be tinting it, okay? Tints are colors that are lightened by the addition of white, so we're going to gradually tint a color. You can start with any color you want. Yesterday, I did it with the class, and we started with a blue, and we tinted it gradually to become this off-white blue, okay? You can even add a definition to the side if you want for future reference. Tinting is adding white to lighten, if you like. Okay, so you can start with blue. Today I'm going to do red so you guys can see red, but you can choose either or. At this time on your palette from our color wheel, you should still have a good amount of some primary colors. So I'm going to work with the red this time. If you want to do the blue, you're expecting something like this. Okay, I'm going to do red today. So again, I'm going to dip my brush into the red, and I'm going to start off by making that first square a full saturated red. And you don't want to glob the colors on either. Make sure that the colors are kind of like stretching and being absorbed into the paper. Too much paint on your brush, just wipe it off on your paper towel. I feel like the colors are more visible when I turn the light off, so I'm just going to keep my light off. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce some white into my red, just enough to change it up. So the first one is hard to see on camera. Let me see if I could get this for you. Like on my end, I could see the difference. It's hard to see. It's just more of a pink. Remember, we want to gradually lighten it. Even my blue yesterday, right? The first one is very slight, but you can still see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rinse off my brush. I'm going to do another layer of pure red in that first layer. I want it very obviously red. I'm going to go back to the original red, and I'm just going to darken it up a little bit. Okay, there. That's a bit more. When you do 2 layers, it's a bit more noticeable. Okay, so we have original red, and now it's slowly getting lighter. Okay, now I'm going to go into this color, and I'm going to add even more white to it. Make sure that every time you get into a new box, it actually looks like a new color. If not, you can alter. I feel like I need to add a little bit more white into this one. Okay, and I feel like I've got a lot of paint here now, so I'm going to scoop it off with my brush, okay, and just wipe it off onto my paper towel. Okay, you don't want a ton of paint, just enough to stretch through the box here. Okay, and now we're going to add a bit more white to that color. Oops. Again, if it's looking too much the same, add a bit more. If you're working with blue, yours is going to look like, kind of like this now. Okay, I'm going to wipe my brush off, add a bit more white to this color. So I'm just continuously lightening it. If you did yellow, you could do yellow too. Yellow is a hard one though to get an array of tints out of because it gets light pretty fast. You could tint any color. You could tint purple, you could tint green, but again, because we mixed our own colors, it would have been hard to tint green right now because you would have had to mix a good amount of it. Okay, and the last one is going to be very light. It's going to be almost like an off-white. So you're like literally scooping a bit of that light color back into your white. See how light you can take this color. All right, so we've got our tints of red gradually getting lighter and lighter, or you might have some tints of blue. And again, the last one is literally like a nice off-white, whether it's playing on a blue or a pink. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. You guys can catch up with yours. And then I'm gonna come around and give everybody a little bit of black because to do your tones, we're gonna do the same idea, playing around with one fully saturated color, but here we're going to be dulling it down by adding gray into it. So we're gonna have to make some gray. Hopefully everybody still has like a healthy amount of white left on their tray. We're gonna alter this white blob by making it into like a silverish gray color. I'm just gonna come around with a little bit of black. Okay, but that's tints.